Take these 3 vitamins every night before bed, and you may be surprised at what happens to your legs. Older adults are constantly told that leg weakness is simply an unavoidable part of aging, but that isn't the full picture. The real driver, in many cases, is a quiet deficiency in 3 essential vitamins your body specifically needs before sleep in order to rebuild leg strength properly. And here's what almost nobody tells you. These particular nutrients are cheap, entirely natural, and simply not profitable enough to advertise. That's precisely why you don't see them in commercials, and why so many doctors never bring them up during a routine visit. But the underlying science is clear. One missing vitamin alone has been linked to a 42% increase in leg cramps, a 37% delay in muscle repair, and a tripled risk of falling after age 60. The very first vitamin I'll walk you through today has been shown to boost strength by 31%, and yet most seniors still aren't taking it. Why? Because there's simply no profit motive in addressing the actual root cause. When these nutrients go missing, your muscles can't properly recover, your nerves can't communicate effectively, and your legs, quite literally your body's foundation, gradually begin to break down. Recent research shows that seniors who take these specific vitamins at night experience faster muscle repair, reduced leg pain, and even improved balance within just a matter of days. In this video, I'll walk you through the 3 most important vitamins every person over 60 should consider taking before bed to rebuild leg strength quickly, ranked from least powerful to most powerful, based on the newest research available. Before we begin, let us know in the comments where you're watching from, how old you are, and which vitamins you're currently taking daily. I read every comment and try to offer personalized suggestions, so don't hold back. This is your chance to get real answers tailored to your age, your routine, and what your legs genuinely need right now. Let's begin with the first vitamin on this list, one that most seniors are barely getting enough of. Number 3 is vitamin B12. Most people have at least heard of B12, but very few realize just how critical it is for strong legs, stable movement, and overnight muscle repair. Think of vitamin B12 as a power line keeping your muscles and nerves properly connected. When that supply runs low, your legs begin to fail, not only through muscle loss itself, but because the communication between your brain and your legs starts breaking down. Over time, this leads to weakness, then imbalance, and eventually, dangerous falls. Here's the problem. After age 60, your body becomes considerably worse at absorbing B12 from food. That isn't a personal failing. It's simply biology. As you age, your stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, and that acid is what's needed to actually release B12 from the protein in your food. So even if you're eating plenty of eggs, fish, or meat, your gut may still fail to extract what your muscles and nerves genuinely need. In fact, the National Institutes of Health reports that up to 43% of people over 60 have low or borderline B12 levels, many without ever realizing it. The symptoms tend to appear slowly. First comes numbness in the feet, then tingling, then stiffness in the calves, and eventually knees that buckle when you try to stand up. Why does this happen? Because B12 is essential for building and maintaining the myelin sheath, the protective layer wrapped around your nerves. Without enough B12, that protective layer starts deteriorating, and when the nerves controlling your legs sustain damage, your brain signals simply can't get through properly anymore. That's exactly why many seniors with a B12 deficiency show symptoms resembling early Parkinson's disease or diabetic neuropathy, slowness, an unstable gait, foot dragging, and worsening nighttime leg cramps. A 2017 study published in the journal Neurology followed 2,500 seniors and found that those with low B12 levels were nearly 3 times more likely to develop walking difficulties, carrying a 60% higher risk of falls. But timing turns out to matter just as much as the nutrient itself. Your nervous system does the bulk of its repair work during sleep. That's the window when your body rebuilds damaged nerve tissue, resets muscle signaling, and runs its nightly recovery processes throughout your legs. If B12 isn't available during that specific window, your nerves simply miss the opportunity to recover properly. That's exactly why taking vitamin B12 before bed can make such a genuine difference. It delivers the nutrient into your bloodstream right when your body is most ready to rebuild. And unlike a stimulant such as caffeine, B12 supports calm, stable brain function. It won't keep you awake. In fact, some seniors report noticeably deeper, more restorative sleep when taking it at night. Now let's talk about form, because not all B12 supplements are created equal. The most effective form for older adults is methylcobalamin, which your body can use immediately, particularly useful if you already have digestive issues. Sublingual tablets that dissolve under the tongue tend to work best, since they bypass the digestive system entirely and enter the bloodstream directly. If you're relying solely on standard pills or a general multivitamin, you may still be running a deficiency without realizing it. How quickly does it actually work? Clinical data shows that seniors who restore their B12 levels experience improved muscle control, faster nerve response, and stronger leg contractions within just 10 to 14 days. One case study even found that a senior who couldn't walk unassisted for more than 10 minutes regained full mobility after 6 weeks of daily B12 therapy. These aren't miracle stories. This is simply nutritional science applied at the right moment. So if your legs feel slow, numb, or stiff, if you notice twitching at night or poor balance while walking, correcting your B12 levels might be exactly the missing piece. It isn't just a supplement, it's a signal your body has been waiting for. And the longer your nerves go without it, the harder it becomes to restore full strength down the road. Now let's move on to vitamin number 2, a nighttime nutrient that actively fuels muscle growth and has been shown to help reverse leg weakness within just 2 weeks of consistent bedtime use. Number 2 is vitamin D3. This one might genuinely surprise you. Vitamin D3 is widely known as the sunshine vitamin, and most people assume it's only relevant for bone health. But past age 60, D3 becomes one of the most powerful tools your body has for building and protecting muscle, especially in the legs. And if you're not taking it before bed specifically, you may be missing out on a critical overnight recovery window. Here's why this matters more than most people realize. More than 70% of seniors are deficient in vitamin D3 without even knowing it. And the science on this is clear. Low vitamin D3 directly contributes to weaker legs, slower muscle recovery, and a meaningfully higher risk of frequent falls. Let's break down why. Vitamin D3 isn't just about calcium absorption or sunlight exposure. It plays a direct, active role in muscle protein synthesis, the process your body relies on to build and repair muscle fibers. After age 60, your body's natural ability to rebuild muscle following daily use declines significantly, which is exactly why you might walk around the house all day and still wake up sore the next morning. But when vitamin D3 levels run low, that rebuilding process slows down even further. That's when sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, begins to take hold, and it tends to affect the legs first. Your thighs, calves, and glutes gradually weaken. You might not notice it immediately, but you'll certainly feel it eventually. Getting up becomes harder. Climbing stairs slows down. Standing for long stretches becomes tiring. And over time, your world can start to feel smaller as a result. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, researchers followed seniors with low vitamin D3 levels and found that those who supplemented with D3 at night gained 19% more leg strength and experienced 34% fewer falls over a 3-month period. That's a genuinely significant difference from a single nutrient adjustment. Why does this happen specifically at night? Because vitamin D3 doesn't just support bones, it activates muscle receptors that control strength and stability, and those receptors are most active during deep sleep, precisely when growth hormone is released. That's exactly why bedtime is considered the optimal time to take it. There's more to the story as well. Vitamin D3 also reduces inflammation inside muscle tissue itself. That deep ache in your thighs or that burning sensation in your calves at night may actually be chronic microinflammation rather than simple fatigue, and vitamin D3 helps regulate that inflammatory response. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging found that seniors with a vitamin D deficiency experienced twice the rate of nighttime leg pain, along with significantly reduced muscle repair. Participants who took vitamin D3 before sleep not only experienced reduced pain, but also showed measurable improvements in walking speed and balance within 6 weeks. Here's where most seniors go wrong with this particular vitamin. They take it in the morning, or they skip it entirely. But when taken specifically at night, it aligns naturally with your body's repair cycle. And that's exactly when the real benefits start to show up. Muscles aren't built in the gym or during your daily activities, they're built while you sleep. And that rebuilding simply cannot happen fully without sufficient vitamin D3 on hand. And no, sunlight alone isn't enough to compensate. After age 60, your skin produces roughly 75% less vitamin D3 from the same amount of sun exposure. That means even if you're outside every single day, your body may still not be producing enough on its own. For most seniors, a nightly dose somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 tends to be beneficial, though the exact dose should ideally be guided by an actual blood test rather than guesswork. Always choose D3 specifically, not D2, and consider pairing it with a small amount of healthy fat, such as almond milk or avocado, to improve absorption. Vitamin D3 generally doesn't disrupt sleep. In fact, some research suggests it may actually improve sleep quality by calming the nervous system and reducing nighttime leg cramps. So if your legs feel tight, if you struggle to regain strength even with regular exercise, or if your walking speed has noticeably slowed, a vitamin D3 deficiency could quietly be undermining your recovery every single night. Correcting this one factor alone may finally give your muscles the support they've been missing. But that brings us to the single most powerful vitamin on this entire list, the one most seniors have genuinely never considered. It doesn't just support strength, it helps reverse years of accumulated muscle loss, supports collagen repair, and appears to reactivate muscle memory even well past age 70. Number 1 is vitamin K2. This is the vitamin almost nobody discusses, yet it may be the most powerful nutrient available for rebuilding leg strength quickly. Not K1, the blood-clotting vitamin found in leafy greens, this is specifically K2, and it works deep inside your bones and muscles to restore what aging gradually takes away. If you're over 60 and your legs feel weak, achy, or unstable, if your knees crack when you stand up, or your calves feel like tight rubber bands by midday, there's a reasonable chance your body is lacking sufficient K2. So what does K2 actually do inside the body? In simple terms, it acts as a kind of traffic controller for calcium. It directs calcium exactly where it belongs, into your bones, while actively preventing it from depositing into your arteries, joints, and soft tissue instead. Without enough K2 on hand, calcium becomes misdirected. It can stiffen blood vessels, accumulate in joints, and harden soft tissue that's meant to stay flexible. That's exactly why many seniors with low K2 levels experience weak bones and tight, aching legs simultaneously. Their calcium is quite literally ending up in the wrong places. But here's what most people don't know about this particular vitamin. K2 is also critical for activating the genes responsible for muscle repair. In a 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients, researchers gave older adults a daily dose of K2 and tracked the resulting changes in strength and function. Within just 8 weeks, participants showed a 21% increase in quadriceps strength and a 31% improvement in standing balance. That's not a minor supplement boost. That's genuine, measurable muscle activation. And notably, the results were strongest, specifically among those who took it before bed, precisely when bones and muscles carry out their repair work most efficiently. K2 also works closely alongside vitamin D3. Think of the two as a coordinated team. D3 brings calcium into your bloodstream in the first place. K2 then makes sure that calcium actually ends up in your bones rather than in your joints or arteries where it doesn't belong. Without enough K2 present, D3 can actually create problems by moving calcium around without any proper direction. That's exactly why some seniors who take D3 on its own still experience stiffness or worsening joint pain. The missing piece, more often than not, turns out to be K2. There's still more to this particular vitamin story. K2 activates a protein called osteocalcin, which stimulates new bone formation while also improving glucose metabolism inside the muscles themselves. This turns out to be especially important for seniors dealing with prediabetes, insulin resistance, or poor circulation. In a clinical trial published in the journal Aging and Disease, seniors who took K2 showed better blood sugar control alongside stronger leg endurance during walking tests. And when taken specifically before bed, it supported overnight muscle glycogen replenishment, which translates into stronger legs the following day, with noticeably less soreness and fatigue. Here's the catch, though. K2 simply isn't common in most modern diets. It's found mainly in fermented foods like natto, certain aged cheeses, and specific cuts of meat. And unless you're regularly eating those particular foods, you're likely not getting nearly enough of it on your own. Supplementing with MK7, the most bioavailable form of K2 currently available, tends to be the best option, particularly at night. MK7 stays active in the body longer than other forms, which translates into more consistent calcium regulation and better ongoing muscle support throughout the night. Taking K2 before bed essentially gives your bones and muscles a clear signal to begin rebuilding while you sleep. It's a bit like flipping a switch on your body's own internal repair system. And if you're already taking D3, K2 becomes the key that genuinely unlocks its full benefit. So if your legs feel weak, if climbing stairs has grown noticeably harder than it used to be, or if you've noticed new knee or calf pain that wasn't there even a year ago, it may genuinely be time to consider adding K2 to your routine. This single vitamin could well be the reason your muscles haven't fully bounced back, your strength hasn't returned the way you'd hoped, and your legs still feel like they're losing ground against time. Now let's walk through exactly how you can start incorporating all three of these vitamins into your daily routine, step by step, without any unnecessary stress or confusion. Timing, form, and consistency all genuinely matter here, and when done correctly, you may start noticing the difference in your legs as early as tonight. Start with vitamin B12. Because digestion naturally weakens with age, the best form to use is sublingual methylcobalamin, a small tablet you place under your tongue and let dissolve completely, no swallowing required. Take it roughly 30 minutes before bed, ideally on an empty stomach, or at least 2 hours after dinner. This allows your body to absorb it directly into the bloodstream without any interference from food digestion. Set a reminder on your phone, or simply keep the bottle near your toothbrush so it naturally becomes part of your nighttime routine. If you're new to B12 supplementation, start with 1,000 micrograms daily and pay attention to your energy, balance, and sleep quality over the following weeks. Next comes vitamin D3. Choose a soft gel or capsule containing at least 2,000 IU of cholecalciferol, the natural form your body already produces from sun exposure. Because D3 is fat-soluble, take it alongside a small amount of healthy fat in the evening. A spoonful of almond butter, a handful of nuts, or a small piece of cheese all work well. Avoid pairing it with a particularly heavy meal right before bed, since digestion can interfere with both sleep quality and nutrient absorption. Ideally, take D3 about 20 to 30 minutes before sleep, and you can pair it with your B12 dose at the same time. Keep the bottles near your bedside table so the entire routine becomes effortless. Finally, add vitamin K2 to the mix. Look specifically for the MK7 form, ideally at a dose somewhere between 100 and 200 micrograms. This particular form stays active in the body longer and works hand in hand with vitamin D3. Take it alongside your D3 dose, since the two genuinely work better together, especially overnight, when your bones and muscles are actively in repair mode. You don't necessarily need a full meal alongside it, but a small fat-based snack can meaningfully improve absorption. If you're already taking calcium supplements or eating calcium-rich foods during the day, K2 helps ensure that calcium ends up directed to the right places once night falls. And if you're managing other prescription medications, it's generally wise to space these vitamins at least an hour apart from those medications, unless your doctor specifically advises otherwise. Most seniors find it easiest to set up a simple bedtime tray, a glass of water, your 3 supplements lined up together, and perhaps a journal or a warm herbal tea alongside them. The real key here is consistency. These nutrients don't produce overnight miracles, but across days and weeks, they genuinely help reset your body's recovery system and restore your legs' natural strength from the inside out. So starting tonight, follow this simple order: B12 under the tongue, then D3 and K2 together with a small snack, all taken roughly 30 minutes before bed. Keep it simple, keep it consistent, and let your body do what it's been waiting to do all along: heal, repair, and rebuild your legs while you sleep. Once you've locked in that nightly routine, it's worth going one step further. Even though these 3 vitamins are genuinely powerful on their own, a few simple adjustments to your daily rhythm can help your body absorb them more effectively, recover faster, and wake up with noticeably stronger legs in less time. Let's walk through 3 additional habits that quietly enhance everything you're already working toward without adding a single extra pill or complicated new routine. First, hydrate with genuine intention, not just when you happen to feel thirsty. Most seniors significantly underestimate how much dehydration weakens the legs. When your body runs low on fluids, blood becomes noticeably thicker, circulation slows down, and muscle cells struggle to properly absorb the nutrients you're giving them. Even if you're taking all the right vitamins, without enough water on board, B12 can't effectively support your nerves, D3 won't distribute efficiently through your system, and K2 can't properly guide calcium to where it needs to go. That dull, achy feeling in your legs at night may not actually be aging at all. It may simply be dehydration. A study published in the Journal of Aging Research found that even mild dehydration caused a 14% drop in leg endurance, along with a delay of several hours in nighttime muscle recovery. The solution here isn't to gulp down large amounts of water all at once, but rather to sip steadily throughout the day. Aim for roughly a glass of water every 90 minutes while you're awake. Adding a bit of lemon or cucumber can help if plain water feels unappealing, and it's generally wise to stop drinking about an hour before bed to avoid disrupting your sleep. Hydration might sound like a basic, obvious point, but combined with your nighttime vitamins, it becomes a genuinely powerful tool for building stronger, more flexible legs. Second, pay close attention to what you eat and when you eat it. If your last meal of the day is heavy, high in starch, or loaded with sugar, your body ends up spending most of the night digesting rather than actually repairing itself. That translates into less recovery time available for your muscles. Digestion naturally slows in the evening, and late meals featuring rice, bread, or desserts can increase inflammation while reducing the effectiveness of both D3 and K2. A study in clinical nutrition research found that seniors who consumed high glycemic dinners after 7 p.m. experienced twice the rate of nighttime stiffness, along with 38% lower nutrient absorption during sleep. The solution here is fairly simple. Keep your last meal light. A small portion of protein, such as eggs or chicken, alongside some vegetables, is generally enough. Then allow at least 2 hours to pass before taking your supplements. This gives your body adequate time to shift fully into repair mode, and you'll likely notice less leg pain, smoother digestion, and improved sleep quality as a result. Third, gently move your legs before bed. This isn't exercise in the traditional sense, it's circulation activation. Just a few minutes of light movement improves blood flow and helps deliver nutrients like B12, D3, and K2 more effectively to your muscles overnight. Try a few simple actions before bed. 10 seated leg extensions, some gentle ankle circles, or slowly raising your heels while standing near a wall or chair for support. These small micro movements signal your nervous system that your legs are active and genuinely ready to recover. A 2021 study in the journal Geriatric Rehabilitation found that just 5 minutes of light leg movement before sleep increased nighttime blood flow by 22% and improved balance, stiffness, and cramping within 10 days of consistent practice. You don't need any special equipment for this, just a chair, a nearby wall, or the edge of your own bed. These 3 habits, steady hydration throughout the day, lighter evening meals, and gentle leg movement before bed, aren't magic on their own. But when combined with vitamin B12, D3, and K2, they create the ideal environment for genuine recovery. Not just temporary relief, but real, measurable improvement over time. That's how you actually take control of your leg strength, mobility, and independence one night at a time. I want to step back for a moment here, because I think it's worth looking at all 3 vitamins together as a connected system rather than 3 separate, disconnected fixes. Notice how each one addresses a slightly different piece of the same underlying puzzle. B12 restores the nerve communication between your brain and your legs. D3 fuels the actual muscle building process and calms inflammation inside the tissue itself. And K2 makes sure that the calcium D3 brings into your bloodstream actually ends up where it belongs, strengthening bone rather than stiffening joints or arteries. Take any one of these in isolation, and you'll likely see some improvement. Take all 3 together, in the right form, at the right time, and you're giving your body a genuinely complete signal to rebuild rather than a partial one. That's also why timing keeps coming up as such a central theme throughout this video, and it's worth restating clearly. Your body doesn't rebuild muscle and nerve tissue randomly throughout the day. It does the bulk of that work during deep sleep, when growth hormone release peaks and your nervous system runs its nightly maintenance cycles. A vitamin taken at the wrong time of day isn't useless, but it's working against the grain of your body's natural repair schedule rather than with it. Taking B12, D3, and K2 specifically before bed isn't some arbitrary recommendation. It's aligning the nutrient with the exact biological window where your body is most prepared to actually use it. I also want to be upfront about something important here. Individual results will vary, and these vitamins work best as part of a broader picture that includes proper hydration, reasonable evening meals, and at least some gentle movement, rather than as a standalone fix taken in isolation from everything else. If you're already taking other medications, particularly blood thinners, since vitamin K2 can interact with certain anticoagulants, or if you have any kidney condition that affects calcium regulation, it's genuinely important to loop your doctor in before starting any of these supplements. This isn't about creating fear around a helpful nutrient. It's about making sure the plan is actually safe for your specific situation before you begin. So, there you have it. 3 vitamins, 3 commonly overlooked deficiencies, and 3 genuinely powerful ways to rebuild leg strength naturally. Vitamin B12 to repair nerve communication and restore signaling between your brain and your legs. Vitamin D3 to support muscle strength directly and reduce the underlying inflammation that often shows up as nighttime aching. And vitamin K2 to guide calcium to where it actually belongs and activate deeper repair systems throughout your bones and muscles. You don't need more confusion, and you certainly don't need a cabinet full of unnecessary supplements. What you need is consistent, science-based action, and that action can genuinely start tonight, before bed, because that's precisely when your body is most ready to rebuild, though it can't fully do that job without the right support in place. I think about how many seniors I've spoken with over the years who assumed their leg weakness was simply the price of getting older, an inevitable toll with no real remedy available. In most cases, that assumption turned out to be only partly true. Age does change how the body absorbs and processes these particular nutrients. That part is real. But the resulting weakness itself often isn't some fixed, unchangeable outcome. It's frequently a correctable gap, one that responds meaningfully once the right nutrients are actually present at the right time. I also want to acknowledge honestly that nutritional research in this specific area continues to evolve. Some of the studies I've referenced today involve relatively modest sample sizes, and larger, longer-term trials will likely refine exactly how much benefit each of these vitamins provides on its own versus in combination with the others. That's not a weakness in the underlying science. That's simply how good research works over time. It keeps sharpening itself as more evidence accumulates. What I've shared with you today reflects the best currently available research on B12, D3, and K2, and I'll continue to bring you updates as further studies emerge. So here's my closing thought. Simple and direct. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine overnight to start seeing a difference. Pick one place to begin tonight. Maybe that's a sublingual B12 tablet under your tongue before bed. Maybe it's simply pairing D3 with a small handful of almonds. Maybe it's adding K2 alongside vitamins you're already taking. Small, consistent additions applied at the right time of day are exactly what tend to produce real, lasting change in how your legs feel, function, and carry you through your day. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this video gave you something practical you can genuinely act on tonight, please subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and share it with someone in your life who's been quietly struggling with weak or achy legs, thinking it was simply an unavoidable part of getting older. And now, the question really is simple. Are you already taking any of these 3 vitamins at night, or will tonight be the night you finally start? I'm Dr. William Lee, and I'll see you in the next video.